I was on a show at the top of the market with some super big influencers and experts in crypto. And I was the only one that was warning people, guys, this isn't normal. This is normal, but it's also normal for it to go back down. And I was literally told on that show that it was different and that Bitcoin was here to stay.
I'm here with the one and only Ben. How are you doing today?
Doing well, doing well.
I've been watching your videos since forever. I think you had a show called Faces of Crypto 5 or 6 years ago, and you pulled out one of the first Chainlink review. I think it was 50 cents. And ever since, I've been watching your videos. I couldn't stop. So thank you so much for producing such good content. My hat's off to you.
Well, thank you. It means a lot. That goes back to the day, Faces of Crypto. Golly, that was my first interview series. Fun fact, one of those interviews, I messed up twice after fully conducting the interview, and the person had to come back. I had to do 3 interviews with one person right in the beginning of my career because of technical issues. Some technical issues on the audio every once in a while on the channel today still. But the fact is that, been in crypto for a long time. And that Chainlink review is very funny because if you go watch it, one of the things that I say is, if they're able to get a groundswell of support and the community rises up and pushes the message of Chainlink, then I think they have something. And of course, everybody knows the Link Marines came out and did exactly that. So that Chainlink review, while I looked ridiculous, it was in a very short phase where I had my head shaved. I removed with these tongs when I was born, gave me this giant cone head. So it only shows when my head's shaved. So there you go. That's an old video though, man. So throwback.
You have one of the most amazing, by the way, stories in crypto. How was your journey? How everything started?
Yeah, it's definitely been a long drawn out journey here. Many different phases in my crypto life. And you go back to 2012 in November. It was the first time I ever heard about Bitcoin. And there was a software that I needed for a business that I ran, posting ads on Craigslist, that had his payment processors taken by ICANN. He was a Ukrainian guy, Yuri, and he couldn't come over here to America to answer some lawsuit from Craigslist, and they shut him down and took away all his payment processors. And about 6 months goes by, and he says, look, guys, I've let you keep running this thing without paying my monthly payments, but now there's this thing called Bitcoin that I can take. And it reminded me like of something you'd see on like a online casino wallet or something, didn't pay any attention to it and had to go through this process. My first Bitcoin purchase was in December, I think it was December 11th or December 12th, maybe 2012. First Bitcoin purchase was, I think, a shade under $12 per coin. It was 37 or 38 Bitcoin for 450 bucks, I think is what it was. The peak, which we've been beyond the peak now. At the peak, I think that would have been worth $3 million. So now $3 million and change, it would have been worth almost right here at this price, actually. So I didn't keep it all, though, of course. I was using it as a currency. And so I was buying it to use it to pay for software. So I didn't keep all this Bitcoin. Then one day in 2013, a year later in November, this is when the first or the second big leg of this bull run begins. The double top 2013 had 2 tops, but one was higher than the next, or the second one was higher, leading to a new all-time high again. And that's when I happened to look at my account and see what I had, just a little bit of Bitcoin in there, was now suddenly worth $1,700. I think it was worth more than that. It was 6.5 Bitcoin. The point is that I met a guy at a McDonald's over the Wi-Fi from localbitcoins.com in 2013 in November and sold it. Took my family on a little vacation and used some for some bills. And man, was just kicking myself thinking, man, I wish there was some big investment I could get into, something in there that would really make me a lot of money. This Bitcoin didn't make me a lot. There's got to be something out there. And, it was right in front of me. I just sold it and didn't realize it. And so you fast forward, I buy some Bitcoin, sell some Bitcoin, go through Mt. Gox, lose all of my money. All the Bitcoin I had left on Mt. Gox, I've got a Mt. Gox claim, but it was just dust at that point because I'd removed it and sold it all, like I said. So I went through all that, woke up to the email and, written in Japanese writing, I believe, about how it was crashed and, got all the new usernames and passwords for BitInstant, all the early stuff, early Coinbase. I was there for all of it. But it wasn't until 2017 that I really, because when Mt. Gox happened, I thought crypto was over. I did. I didn't know what an exchange was. I didn't even really understand how I was using BitInstant to cash the stuff out from Mt. Gox. I didn't know what Mt. Gox was. It was all just this Bitcoin mumbo jumbo to me. It was very difficult to navigate. And so I didn't even know what custody or having your own Bitcoin wallet. 90% of Bitcoin transactions at the time were done on Mt. Gox. I didn't understand any of that stuff. So you fast forward, I saw it as a money-making opportunity. Fast forward to 2017, and I'm watching all this stuff start shooting up about the middle of the year, and I'm like, man, I think I really botched this up big time. Because I bought and sold a little Bitcoin here and there, but it wasn't something I was focused on. And man, I tell you what, when the real parabolic action, when Bitcoin hit $1,000 and hit a new all-time high and kept going past, and then was heading towards $4,000 over the summer, and it was just so wild when that was going on. And I'm thinking I should be a billionaire. I had tons of money back then. My business was doing well at the time. Could have put a lot in, and I sold the little bit that I did have. And it's like, man, another opportunity passed by, and I swore to myself I wasn't going to let it pass by again. I was going to. I could see now crypto was the future, and so I started getting involved and started the channel in January or February of 2018. And made videos every single day. Nobody watched for a couple of years, and everybody watched. And I had my channel taken, started new, just got 100,000 subscribers again. Still fighting to get the other 1.4 million subscribers back from the Bitcoin, which we'll get hopefully sooner rather than later. But I don't mind having to build again. I like building, and so I like seeing these numbers. I got to 100,000 in 4 months this time, much faster than the 2.5, almost 3, I guess the 3 years, 3.5 years, I think, that it took me to hit 100,000 last time. So we're ahead of the curve and pushing forward.
Yeah, and congrats on that one. I've seen the amazing progress you've done. So, I mean, I'm not surprised, to be honest. I can see, I mean, I've been watching you, like I said, for a long time. So it was inevitable, right? So from now on, it's just like up only. So for sure. And I know what you mean. Like for me, it was August 2013, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I bought a bunch of Bitcoin with my brother. There was a place I shall not name in the UK, where I was living. And we bought a bunch of Bitcoins and we started mining. They were offering compounding, computer powering. You basically leave your Bitcoin on their platform. So not your keys, not your coins. I got to understand later, right? And they would compound money. And you're thinking, okay, well, I'm not taking it out. I'm going to leave it in. And then at some point, when they're going to be, quote, more, I'm going to do a big cash out. And then when we tried, it wasn't possible. So that was the kind of awakening saying, okay, wait there. But not only we lost whatever we invested in the beginning, which was 2013, a couple of years later, I think it was 15 or 16, but also we lost all the potential gains that the asset has made so far, right? And like you said, it wasn't actually as simple. I mean, only a couple of people are making content. Da Vinci was one of them. Shout out to Da Vinci. But he was actually pulling out videos and talking about things. Then we said, okay, well, we have two options. Either we call it a scam and we go away, because we don't understand, or we just put the time into it and we try to make the best out of our learning. So at the end of the day, when something goes off, you learn something, right? So a failure is never a failure if you actually learn something from it. So then we went back into it, and I think similar to you, I think it was end of 2016 is when I decided to go full in this thing. You touched slightly on your channel, which I'm super excited about. I know you guys have been working super hard on new shows, new segments. You have AJ, of course, you have J-Chains. What is next in your show? What you guys are planning?
Yeah, so over the last few weeks, we've really been kind of tweaking things and trying to figure out exactly what we want the show to be. We've realized that our audience really hates pre-recorded content mixed in with the live show. They hate it. So we're going to go to more live reads for the ads instead of pre-recorded ads, which were much easier for us. But you know what? We'll do what the audience wants. And we're going to change up a few things. We think we got the formula down right. The first half of the show is kind of the traditional BitBoy crypto show people are used to, with a few bells and whistles and nicer graphics and nicer, cooler people. And then you also have the second half of the show we're calling the Alpha Hour here, which is basically where we look around the world at x.com videos. We were going to look at one of Carl's videos last week, but we ran into an issue trying to show technical difficulty. And then we're just going to kind of zoom around and see what's going on in the world of YouTube and in the world of social media and crypto, and doing some whale hunting, watching some wallets, looking at some degen coins, maybe some meme coins, things like that. The real alpha that people are after. So doing that, of course, I've started a new series where I'm actually grading all the YouTubers actually by their picks from date published to today, broken down in different segments. Who does really well the first 6 hours? But then after 24 hours or 72 hours, they don't do that well. Who over the long term does the best? We're going to be able to look at all that and pull all that data. Actually, a little bit after this, I'm actually recording the first video where I'm actually going to be showing these rankings. And it turns out that I'm actually the best one. I literally did not fudge this. I said, okay, just to compare myself, I'm going to pull my latest top coins video There was one that was a little bit newer, but I only had one pick in it, and that pick's about there were two other people picking, and so it was a top three, but I only had one of the picks. So the last time I did most of the picks myself would have been the March coins of the month video, and when I did the math on that, I think I was up 50%, 56, 58% on that. And then I also was like, okay, I'm going to take whatever the top one is. So I Googled or went on YouTube and typed in Ben Armstrong top crypto videos, and the first one that came up was my coins of the year from the top 100, top 8 coins. It's Aptos, Sui, Algo, Dogecoin, ADA, XRP, Solana. That one, they're up, I think, also about 30-40%. Maybe I got those numbers reversed. But it's really interesting looking at the numbers, and I've only done 6 different YouTubers so far. Over time, I'm sure it's going to balance out. It just does happen coincidentally, not by any intentionality. My numbers were the best from the videos that I looked at compared to some of these other guys. There's a lot of people out there picking YouTube, picking picks. Guys, every coin can't be the best coin. And everybody's out there. This guy's out there doing top 10 coins, and he's naming 50 coins in the video. I'm sure a lot of these people are invested in. So I'm going to be out there also giving people the truth about what's going on in the world of YouTube, how YouTube works in the world of crypto, how some of these backroom deals work with investments and pre-seed rounds. I've decided, just saying, hey, I'm invested in this coin when it's a pre-seed round that you were in. I don't think that's, the best thing. So if we're ever invested in something, but we were in on an early round, then we would tell you guys that or tell the audience that, because it gives them the transparency for them to be able to have that information that while it may launch and then immediately dump, because people got it at the price I got it at, and you're the public, and your exit liquidity for the VCs and the influencers a lot of times at first, and the sharks. You got to wait till these things hit a bottom and then go up. So we're going to be looking at a lot of the ins and outs of YouTube and who's got the best numbers, who's got the best picks. George from Cryptos R Us came in number 2 so far, but he only had 2 picks, so not a big range. So we're going to take a look at more of this very exciting segment. I really enjoyed doing it.
Nice, fantastic. You said so many good things. I mean, I completely agree with you. I think if you focus on what people want and you provide value, that's it. That's a winner right there. So I'm excited about all the new content you guys are producing. I've been watching. I've seen some of the reviews already. So super good stuff. I'm really pleased. And what do you see in the market? I mean, when it comes to the next narrative, like AI, gamings, what do you see coming in next? Like there is so much happening at the minute with those memes. And is there anything you see clearly coming towards us?
Yeah, big time. There is one niche that is about to hit like an absolute tidal wave. You just have to really start to read the tea leaves, read between the lines. RWAs are going to be the top niche of this bull run. We're about to see, in my opinion, coins that just entered into the top 100 like Ondo. Been talking about Ondo, and then Goldfinch, GFI, another one of these, Pendle, another one of these RWA projects. Max Mayer was the one who I did a video on. I stumbled upon Pendle. I think these projects are really good and really bullish. I think that any of these top RWA projects, we're talking about real world assets, these are tokenized assets. No, I want to follow up with why here, but I think that any of these projects can hit the top 10. You have to look at the tidal wave. Where is this money coming from for RWAs? Institutional money, TradFi. Where's the most money in the world? Institutional money, TradFi. Who runs the government agencies? Oh, the same exact people. And you start to understand why it doesn't make sense, right? We've got Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, and he's out here saying, hey guys, there's something about this Ethereum still. There's something about this Ethereum. Don't sleep on it. And we're out here going, come on, guys. Solana, Sui, this stuff is the future. Okay, maybe Cardano. Cardano's still got a lot to prove now. Cardano's got a lot to prove in order to offer the types of things that Solana and AVAX and Sui are offering with robust ecosystems that actually have users. Got a long ways to go. But the point is that Larry Fink and the VCs are clearly signaling opposite things, the same message. The VCs are telling you, hey guys, that Solana blockchain, we like that thing. You ever been to the New York Stock Exchange? Man, pull that breaker. We like it when you can pull a breaker. So the VCs, They love having that comfort knowing that if all hell breaks loose, Solana blockchain can be paused. It's been paused many, many times, and just recently, actually, maybe about a month or 6 weeks ago. So, but it had been a long time without it, right? So then you listen to Larry Fink and what he's saying, and Larry Fink is saying, listen, guys, here's the thing. Ethereum is slow, but we actually kind of like that in the BlackRock game. Why? Because we like those RWAs. We want to bring the quadrillion-dollar derivatives market over here because we see blockchains 24/7. We like it's digital. We can do a lot with this money. And, Larry Fink's got a lot of control, a lot of power. He can do a lot of things. He's telling you this. He's saying enterprise and institutions for utility are going to choose Ethereum, period. It's slower, but it's way fast enough for them. The average retail user, I think, is going to fall off of Ethereum. What's the point? Solana is way faster. Ethereum games, blockchain games on Ethereum, using Polygon, okay. What if you didn't have to use Layer 2, right? So you got Larry Fink telling you tokenized assets are coming, and they're coming on Ethereum. You've got the VCs telling you from the Solana perspective that, hey, it's okay just from a pure money investment standpoint. We love a blockchain that can pause. And so what they're telling you is they're both going, the narratives of Ethereum and Solana are actually parallel. They don't really cross over each other. And so Solana and Ethereum can both thrive. I mean, I've always said, said recently, Ethereum is officially now the silver to Bitcoin's gold, officially. It now is a store of value. The institutions see it. It is now deflationary. Not technically, I get it, all right? Unlimited cap, but it's been deflationary because of the merge in the IP 1559 or 1559. I think that's right. Or whatever it was. It's been, 1559. That is 100% correct. So the point is that stuff has worked, and it had, in a sense, and I think there's a lot of confidence in the value, the store of value of Ethereum and the utility, the quorum, private blockchain, things like that for enterprise and institutions, RWAs, real world assets. And I think that you're going to see a huge rush of money coming into this space. And this is a lot of assets being brought into blockchain. So it's not just value into the coins, it's value added into the overall assets that we have over here on blockchain. And just wait till people hear more about bricks and CBDCs and what's coming there, what the real play is there. It's not what people think. It actually fits right in with this narrative perfectly. So, I think that there's a lot going on in this market right now, but I think RWAs are definitely the one to watch. They're going to have some explosive coins, and you don't have to dig super, super deep, in my opinion. I think some just out, even the top ones. I think the upside, we've seen where Swee's gone from number 90 up to like number 50 or 60, huge gains, right? So I think we can see that for projects like Ondo, GFI, Pendle. There are a couple other ones as well that are escaping my mind. Those are the main ones, though.
Nice, fantastic. We had like 7 green months in a row. I think the last time was in 2012 that this happened, right? So we are potentially facing a new record. By the way, I think it was 7 green, 1 red, and 6 green or something like this. So we could potentially go and do something similar like in 2012. I mean, what's your tactic into the bull run? I think some people are saying the bull run begins only after the halving, which is 3 weeks away. Other people are saying, oh, well, the bull run has been on since 15, which was the bottom.
Well, in my opinion, look, and I can be swayed. I can be swayed to believe this is a super cycle, and the price of Bitcoin is going to $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, and we're just getting started, and we have 18 months after this month. Woo, that's a fantastic story. I love it. Would love to be Q4 2025 popping champagne bottles as we're hitting all-time highs of zillions of market caps. A septillion dollars, I guess. That'd be great, right? I don't think that's going to happen, guys. I believe we are a full 6 months into this bull run. I believe that this bull run started in October. I said all year. Last year, I believed it was starting Q4. Look, I thought it'd start November, December. But the first week of October, I declared at the start of the bull run. I said, this is it. This is where people will look back and we'll see we started. People thought I was crazy because people were still calling for prices back down below 20K, including some of my ex-colleagues. They never know the right way the market's going. They were telling people, convincing them in October that Bitcoin was going, oh my God, maybe down to 18, 19K, 17K. And guys, nothing showed that. What actually it looked like is that our accumulation phase got 4 to 6 months cut out of it. And because of that, and it's very distinct when you look at the chart, because of that, the bull run started earlier. The ETF narrative pushed it, and then the institutions drove it. The difference is that the retail is just now coming in over the last month. So we have a bull run that started institutionally driven, and they've driven it to very high prices. Now they're going to use us as we enter into the pre-halving pullback in the next couple of weeks, in my opinion. They're going to use the new retail people as exit liquidity, but not too bad, just enough to make them hurt, but enough to not sell their bags and think after the halving is going to go back up. And we're going to see the same thing over and over again. They're going to push price probably back down to 50K or so. One last rally to accumulate the institutions, probably leading into right around the actual time of the halving. April 20th, supposedly it should be right there. And then we're going to slowly build back up. I think in 6 weeks, we'll be fully recovered and heading back up. I believe my prediction is $175,000 Bitcoin top. I believe we are exactly 1 year away from the top of the market. I believe April Fool's Day next year, 18 months after what I believe to be the start of this bull run in October, I believe that's when we'll see the top. And I think that a really, really powerful narrative, and I'll call this out now, is that what will happen is that people will tell you when this thing starts going down in the first week of April, people are going to say, guys, it's just tax season. It's people pulling out for tax season, guys. It's not a big deal. Once April 15th hits, we're going back up. There will be some crypto conferences lined up. Probably start trying to say, oh, no, once we have this Bitcoin conference, this consensus conference, I tell you, there's an FTNYC conference, this is the BitBoy conference. I tell you what, this thing's going to go back up. And people are going to buy the hopium, and nobody's going to be listening to me. And we say, guys, I told you, it goes back down. It's not up only. I know up only something people say now because it's fun, it's cute, but it's not. It goes back down every 4 years. And this is the time of the market that I think is important. We start remembering to spread that message to the new retail people coming in. It's not like this forever. Actually, about 3/4 of our existence, we are miserable and look like idiots. But for the 25% that we hit it, I tell you, we are some of the most popular people on the planet.
Yeah, really well said. I mean, are you expecting a big correction? Let's say it goes up to 175,000, like you said, which, I like that. I think it's bang on to where I also see it. So we are aligned on that one. When the top hits and we go down to the bear market, like a 50%, so back to basically where we are now, more or less, as the next bottom. Is that something you see coming in?
Certainly. Yeah, of course. I continue until the cycle narrative is broken. I'm not going to try to fix it. I'm going to try to coordinate with it. So what the market tells us is starting in about 6 months from now, I think, according to where I believe we are in the cycle, people will start saying things like Bitcoin's going up forever. This is it. This is adoption.
This time is different.
Except for the people telling you this won't even know that it's different this time because this is the first time that they're in. They won't even know it's different. They just know, here we go. And the people that are a lot of the YouTubers and the influencers that are getting high off their own supply, so to speak, and pumping and dumping coins and just exit liquidity in their audiences left and right, they're looking around as the market, starts getting not toppish, but to where the ROI for investors is negative. Okay, like for instance, when Bitcoin's at 50K, when it was at 3,200 at the bottom of that bear market, now it's at 50K, and then it went up to 69K. Your ROI, your risk versus reward there is negative, right? There was only $20,000 left, but that thing fell all the way back down to $18,000, right? So you would have lost more than you would have made even at the top if you held. And of course, you never hodl Bitcoin, you never lose, right? I get it. When the influencers are getting high out their own supply, that is usually when I start looking around and saying, guys, this is not reality. Because one problem that so many influencers have had is they continue to tell people the price is going to keep going up, keep going up, keep going up, keep going up, because it's good for all their pockets. And that's not how it works, guys. It doesn't go up forever. You have to be prepared at this time of the market so that at that time of the market, you know when to start pulling out and phasing out and moving over to Tether. I remember there was a show I was on in 2021. It would have been in April, I believe, April or May. I think it was April. The top was in April. The big crash was in May. The first one, of course, we had the double top in November, but just barely. Didn't even, just wicked above 69K and then came back down below 64, I believe. Right? I was on a show at the top of the market with some super big influencers and experts in crypto. And I was the only one that was warning people, guys, this isn't normal. This is normal, but it's also normal for it to go back down. And I was literally told on that show that it was different and that Bitcoin was here to stay. And that for me to think after MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor and Elon Musk that this thing was going to go back down, what was I thinking? And then lo and behold, 6 weeks later, market is crashing and everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe he was actually right about that.
Yeah.
So I believe we will correct. If we go to 175, I believe we'll probably correct back down probably to wherever we peak at, I believe, before the halving here. I think if we could hit 75 or 80, I think I'd certainly return to those levels.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, what's your exit strategy? Like you said something about stable coins. I mean, are you planning to DCA out? Are you playing the market at all? Are you doing nothing? I mean, what's your plan? What's your play?
I think I'm going to move some stuff over to stablecoins right now, actually, I believe, because I'm not sure we could be beginning. I said 2 to 3 weeks into the halving, I think, is when our big pullback will begin this time. It's the last time it was 4 or 5 days before. It was a little longer than the time before that. Depending on how you judge it. The time before that had two kind of pullbacks. There was a big one that was event-driven, and then there was a second one that was kind of the normal end of the halving pullback. And so the point is I think it's a fine time now because I think, guys, this isn't going up through the halving. I can't possibly see it because too many of the new people buy that narrative. And every cycle, we say, hey, guys, it doesn't go up on the day of the halving. It doesn't start going up that day. Actually, it goes down usually that day. Be careful. Doesn't matter how much we say that. People are new and they're green and they want to see that green. I want to see that money, that orange for Bitcoin. They want to see big numbers. And so they don't believe you. And they got to learn all that stuff the hard way. You know as well as I do. Big part of this business, not the business, big part of being in crypto. The crypto culture is learning things for yourself. Sometimes you got to learn the lessons. You got to take the bumps. You got to take the bruise. You got to take the losses. You got to take the getting fished or getting hacked in order to the custody problems, the exchange collapses, get you to a place where you really understand how to navigate all this safely and securely and confidently. And so there you go.
Yeah, 100%. Do you see an Ethereum ETF this year at all, or is something for next year? What do you see?
I do believe more than 50% that we get approval of this Ethereum ETF in May. If not, I think there comes out around that time a plan for it for when it could kind of be approved. There's not really an argument, consensus. The ETH Foundation, we do know there's some scandalous stuff there with the ETH Foundation, obviously, and the SEC. Kind of almost thought it was almost a threat to the SEC a little bit. The way they came out and backed the iShares Ethereum ETF and said basically, hey, it costs significantly more, $35 million, or $35 billion, to attack Ethereum. It only costs $5 to $20 billion to attack Bitcoin due to the difference between the proof of work and the proof of stake and the size of the network and how much it costs to attack. And that was fascinating. Joseph Lubin, I believe, was the one that maybe put out that stat. And so for me, looking at Ethereum and looking at consensus coming out and standing up for Ethereum and saying, hey, it's not a security. That sends a pretty strong message, I think, to the SEC. There has been a big tailwind over the last several weeks of negative FUD, and I say FUD in this case, a lot of stories that are actual FUD, right? Look, fear, uncertainty, and doubt is a certain kind of story. It's a story that's supposed to put a thought in your brain about something. Now, sometimes that thought is an unequivocal fact. That's not really FUD, guys, okay? If I come out and I say, guys, this is 2020, okay? XRP just got hit with an SEC lawsuit. Guys, that's not FUD. That was a reported story that occurred in 2020. It's a story. FUD is a story that we don't know what the answer is, really. We don't know exactly what's going on. We just had all these FUD stories about the supposed Ethereum Foundation investigation that was going on. They got a document from a government agency. We don't know which one. We don't know what it was about, but we do know it's in the middle of an Ethereum ETF approval process. I'm sure maybe they just reached out because they're in an approval process or getting information. Shocker. And then in the middle of the night, CoinDesk put out this video explaining that, yeah, most likely there's actually nothing really here and nobody sees it because they put it out in the middle of the night and they know what's going on. CCP runs CoinDesk. I digress. That's a whole other story. But still better than Cointelelie, though. The point is I do believe because of all these FUD stories that have been coming out, it's actually pushed me further into the camp. I do believe it actually will get approved. Not strongly, not 80, 90%. I'm not telling people it's getting approved. Just think the way the wind's blowing. If I were to flip a coin right now, I very strongly do feel that I actually would take one side over the other. So, it certainly might not get approved. Our history and my history being here in crypto for so long and seeing all these Bitcoin ETF approvals and delays and continuances and rejections over years and years and years. I've seen this so many times. They get rejected. It feels like the tide's turned. Larry Fink's leading the charge. He's pushing Ethereum. It's their ETF. I don't know. I feel like there's a good chance that this time we're getting approved. We're coming right out of the halving, right about the time stuff should start going up. I don't know. I see a pretty beautiful picture being painted possibly here.
Yeah, I agree. There are way too many players now involved. And, you can see BlackRock, like you said, getting involved with real tokenization of assets. I was talking to Matt Hogan, which is the CIO for Bitwise, the other day on my podcast. And he said, well, actually, it's a good thing they're not approving this straight away because they let the Bitcoin ETF warm up a little bit and then they'll pull the plug. So I think, like you said, Coinbase, which is basically taking custody for the majority of the Bitcoin ETFs, is going to run for, pressure the SEC. They sent over a 27 pages document not long ago to get against the SEC. I agree with you. I think it's just a question of when, not if. So we will see indeed. Yeah. And for all the new people in crypto, do you have anything to say to them?
Yeah, I'll say the same thing that I always say to new people, whether it's people that want to get started on YouTube or whether it's people that want to get started in crypto, because I feel like they're so similar. There are no shortcuts. It's a simple message. I say it every time people ask me a question like this. There's no shortcuts. It is easy to make money in crypto in a bull run. It is like shooting fish in a barrel. You can't miss. And start to think you're a genius. It's every person I've ever seen in my entire life, my entire existence in crypto, who got rich overnight, they lost it all overnight as well. Look, actually a little more, not overnight, like a slow bleed, like a frog getting its body boiled for some frog legs, not realizing the water has gone from lukewarm to scalding, and it just sits there and cooks. That's what most investors do. Look at the Dogecoin millionaire guy. I like that guy. I met him in real life. He's real cool, real laid back. But that guy lost almost all the gains he made from getting famous. I lost all my money for a different reason. Companies stole it from me. And then they stole my whole company. That's a whole different story. The point is it's really easy to make money in crypto. It's really easy to lose money in crypto. And a lot of people have to learn that lesson. Don't get ahead of yourself. You make a few picks early on. I will just tell you 95% of you that are watching this video, you don't know as much about crypto as I do. You don't know as much about crypto as he does either. You don't know as much about crypto as almost any person that you probably watch on YouTube has been on here for at least 4 years or more. That doesn't mean that we're above you. It just means listen to these people and listen to the experience of the people that have been through this over and over and over again to warn you away from the pitfalls and the dangers from believing that it's different this time and you got in at the perfect time and this time it's going to be different. And I tell you what, you get a great timing, perfect time. And guys, that's not the way it works. It took me 9 years to become a millionaire in crypto. And it takes most people who understand exactly what's going on in crypto, maybe even less time than that. I had to learn a lot of the stumbling blocks because I tried to find the shortcuts and they weren't there. So do the hard work, learn, find people that you like, do your own research. Check out, definitely check out my channel, Ben Armstrong Crypto X. I don't know, may rename it BitBoy Crypto soon. I don't know, I'm not sure. You guys just look for me. I'll be there. Just look for my big face on a thumbnail with some weird neon lights or something.
Fantastic. I will leave, of course, in the comments down below all the links. But Ben, thank you so much. Honestly, I have so much respect for you. I'm super glad we had this conversation. I really appreciate.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on the show, man. Appreciate it.
See you on the next one.